If walls could hear, what would you say? If walls could talk, what would they say? Walls cannot hear, nor they can talk, but painted they show a state of mind and soul. First drawings on the walls appeared in caves thousands of years ago, but the street art as we know it today spread from New York in the 1960s. Back then it was better known as graffiti and name tags. It was primarily used to make political statements and mark street gang territories. By the 1980s, it found its way into London, and it was closely connected with the beginning of the hip-hop and electro music scene. Awarded Swindon-based artist Karen Koch started painting murals when she was 11, and this year at the Upfest she painted a representation of an unbreakable bond with her sister.
It's my way of to express myself, and it's sort of my emotional and outlet and to tell my thoughts through my art. I think street art especially, it's really interesting because you're painting onto the walls, and instead of having the paintings inside the galleries, this is for everyone to see, and almost like going on top of the mountain and sort of shouting at the top of your lungs to everyone.
The debate over whether graffiti is art or vandalism is still going on. Ever since 1971, in England and Wales, graffiti and street art are considered as an act of criminal damage, and without permission, offenders can be fined unlimited. Many local councils within the UK provide spaces for graffiti artists to produce their artwork legally. Nowadays, street art and painting in public spaces evolved, and it's usually done with permission. Modern street artists get commissioned to paint the streets. It's the world's most globally accessible type of contemporary art. Not only that it spread around the world, but it also became admired, profitable and influential.
I never really considered painting murals. Like, I would come to my aunt, I've got family here, and I would come to Bristol and she'd take me on like little street art tours and like go, that's where that Banks is or whatever, and like point stuff out to me, and I'd be like, wow, this is amazing. I've always been aware of them, and I would have loved to have done it, but like I never thought that there would be a way in for me.
So here we are today, 15 years since the Upfest was founded. From its first festival that hosted around 50 artists in the tobacco factory Bristol, it grew to Europe's biggest street art festival. Streets are being painted during the entire May, and the finale weekend is now presenting over 400 artists that paint each year in front of 50,000 visitors.
Before I started painting, I would go around and like admire the murals that were in St. Pete, Florida, and Mexico City, and a few places I've been that were just really inspired me to start trying it myself. But I love all the types of art that are here, and the artist community that goes with it.
This vibrant artist from Texas is best known for her unique portrayal of females. She's always been influenced by strong female characters. Depending on size and design, it usually takes a couple of days to paint a mural. Impressively, most of the artists finish their work in less than a day. Alain Walter, the man that paints faster than his shadow, came all over from Luxembourg. He likes to play with existing characters by putting them in real-life situations.
This is my first time at the Upfest. I applied for 2 years, and this is my third time that I applied, and this time it finally happened. I mean, it's a super nice vibe. It's way bigger than I expected it.
It's like fun to have this many artists all in one place, and I've bumped into artists that I know from Instagram that I've never met in real life. There's people from all over the world I've met in other places that have come here, so I've been able to see them again. Some of them I haven't seen for years, so it's nice, yeah.
project called Creative Resistance, which is about the power of art in resistance and protest and activism. Really interesting to see like artists that I've liked actually in the flesh, actually painting. It's quite a special thing, I think.
We can often find political or social messages on the walls around us. Artists feel that there is a necessity in society to hear about current issues. It helps foster a sense of empathy required for democracy.
I love street art mainly because it democratizes the art. The area of the galleries is quite restricted, and generally it's just a certain target. In the streets it's for everybody, so you can just be walking home or walking to work and you can enjoy the art, and it kind of communicates directly to the people. Yeah, I really believe in street art, and I think street art is, it's something very important, yeah.
Work that's in public, like public art, and it's a accessible way to do that. And because all the work I make is about queer culture and about mental health, and I think those are two things I feel like really strongly about having out in the world. I think it benefits people a lot. Like the values of both of them are all about like supporting other people and being compassionate and accepting, which I think is a nice message, and I'm happy to be able to put it out in the world in an easy way.
No visit to Bristol ever goes without reference to the big guy Banksy, one of the most famous artists on the street art scene. He combines the place and the message to increase the significance of the symbolic power. Tanit and Laura participated in the Upfest as a part of the Bristol Mural Collective. They provide support for women working in street art.
Bristol's a really creative city, which I love, like in many different ways. Like it's got such a good music scene, such a good art scene, like poetry, like all sorts of things. Like Bristol just seems to be a big hub for people from all over the world and like all over the country. It seems to just kind of swarm here, which is really, really exciting and interesting. Yeah, and I think that shows with like the diversity that we have in the collective. Like there seems to be a lot of people from different countries, which is really nice. A lot of Spanish people. We are everywhere. Yeah, we're everywhere. Yeah, and everyone brings something different, which I love.
It means that I have this safe space that I go and I have fun and I can paint whatever I want, have a nice day out and feel comfortable painting in the street, which being a woman sometimes is a bit difficult.
Artists use walls to give another meaning to our streets. In its own way, Bristol communicates through art. Mr. Burns is a Bristol-based artist who got to witness street art evolution. His work has been described as the next wave, and it rewards viewers with hidden humor, political, social and environmental messages.
The planet will be fine. Whatever we do to the planet, if we let every nuclear bomb off in the world tomorrow, it'll come back. 10,000, 15, 20,000 years, it'll come back. Life will start again. The planet will be fine. It's the species we have to worry about. The latest form of powerful expression. I think street art is something that's developing year by year, and it will be even better in 20 years' time. I think the cities and towns of this planet will be amazing in another generation. They'll be full of colour.
If you ever decide to try your skills, Upfest Gallery is a good place to start. They offer urban artwork along with the wide range of spray paints.
If you're just starting out, my advice would be to not worry about the final outcome so much and really get used to the process and being outside and painting in a public space.